And so, 28th, we max out a social link. On the 29th, guess what we do? We also max out a social link. But the 29th of September is a pretty important date for me because this is actually my real-life birthday. So, yeah, on my birthday in the game, we max out a social link. And, well, I mean, not exactly my favorite social link in the game, but still a pretty decent one to max out. And yeah, no classes at all, so another bonus. Today, we max out Kaz's social link. So, there's really not much else to do around the school, so let's go ahead and do this one. Yes, no one's more dedicated than you. In this case, dedicated means potentially making yourself unable to walk for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's dedication. But this will be the last time we'll be seeing this link. But at least everyone acknowledges that Kaz needs a break for his leg and not to push him too hard. See, you should have told everyone earlier. It would have solved a whole lot of problems. I like how everyone finally understands. And once the truth came out, everyone was really supportive. It just... Again, it just goes to show that he should have told everyone earlier. He didn't have anything to worry about. Once again, being stopped just outside the school. Okay, what about? So we head back here. And cutting straight to the point, getting our max social link item immediately, sports tape. Do you really have to give something that your nephew gave? Well, it's about time. So yeah, what about that? Finally, he's realized what's really important. No, especially if you completely destroyed your ability to compete in any sports in the future. It just wouldn't be worth it. But yeah, if you win back your health, you'll be able to keep winning for the rest of your life. But if you hadn't done this, you would never have been able to compete again, most likely, after that one thing. So finally, he's realizing what's really important, like I said. And so with that, I did get your relationship is stronger now. That line comes back again. And so, yet again with this theme, this has just been the month of maxing out social links. This is, however, the last one that we end up maxing this month, though. And this is actually a pretty important one. You have mastered the Kendo team social link, which would actually be the swimming team or track team if you had chosen any of the other clubs. And yet Kaz still mentioned race there, so yeah, that line didn't change. The Chariot social link is at its maximum level, and so we can now create Thor, the mighty god of thunder! Heed my words, evildoers! If thou dost wish to challenge the Odin son, thou shalt face the divine power of mighty Mjolnir! Never shall the god of thunder relent! I'm sorry, saying that is just too much fun. Anyway, Thor is definitely one of the most well-known mythological figures in popular culture, so he kind of needs no introduction. He's the Norse god of thunder, son of Odin, bearer of the hammer Mjolnir, but I thought I'd try and find a few lesser-known facts about him. Thor's origins possibly come from the Proto-Indo-European religion, where they have a deity that's just referred to as the Striker, god of thunder and lightning. Thor is mentioned throughout the history of the Germanic peoples, so that's probably where he first originated, but he became most popular during the Viking era, so that's how he's most well known now. Thor has 14 names, apparently, that he's referred to through various sources of mythology. Thor also cross-dressed as part of one semi-popular story in the mythology. When a giant stole Mjolnir and would only give it back if he was given the goddess Freya's hand in marriage, Thor went disguised as Freya, complete with a wedding dress, with Loki disguised as a bridesmaid, traveled to Jotunheim, and Thor almost blew his cover when he ate an entire ox at the feast. Loki had to keep making increasingly flimsy excuses as to why he was acting so strangely. Then finally, when he got his hands on the hammer, he just destroyed everyone. And most likely never spoke of that incident again. In gameplay, Thor is pretty much exactly what you'd expect. Strong electric elemental attacks and strong strike attacks. That's pretty much what he does. Being immune to strike is also a plus. As I might demonstrate against a certain boss later on, it can cause some pretty hilarious situations. The main skills that I really like on Thor, though, are two of the more support ones. High Counter, which gives an insane 50% chance of rebounding any physical attack back at the enemy, and you don't take any damage for that, by the way, so it essentially gives you a 50-50 chance of physical immunity. It's no wonder that Persona 4 nerfed the chances of it activating significantly. And Auto Mataru, which basically casts Tarukaja on the entire party at the start of battle, provided that you have Thor equipped when you go in. That's a definite point to remember. But as long as you do, this thing is completely ridiculous. The damage output of all-out attacks with everyone under Tarukaja is pretty insane, and I'll be having a lot of fun with this later on in the playthrough, trust me. Remember though that it's not permanent Tarukaja, it will wear off after 3 turns just like a normal buff would. But usually enemies tend not to last 3 turns against Thor in the first place, so it's not much of a downside. He also gets Elec Amp, which greatly strengthens Zeo's skills. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Elec Boost as well, so he's unable to stack those. You'll probably be able to fuse Elec Boost on him through some method though. Because yeah, Thor is not a special fusion, just do any fusion that would result in a Chariot persona, and if the average level of the 2 personas is 53 or higher, you'll get Thor. I should also point out that one skill that I've highlighted in red, Heavy Master, which doubles the damage dealt by axes or hammers, those kind of bludgeoning weapons, the stuff Shinjiro uses basically. Sadly there's no way to get that skill onto him, he'd actually be pretty good with it. Personally, heavy weapons are, as I've said many times, my least favourite weapon type, so I don't really use this all that much. But Thor is the only persona in the game to get this skill, so I felt the need to mention it. Thor also has a fusion spell, and in fact it's one that we're quite familiar with because it's been sitting in Elizabeth's request list for a long time. Thunder Call. This requires Thor and Take Mikazuchi. The idea behind this is that they're both gods of thunder. It's a strong electric attack on all enemies. It actually has the same power as Maziodyne, but its accuracy is considerably higher, and it also has a very high chance of shock, making it one of the only semi-reliable multi-target shock attacks in the game. And considering how good shock status is, especially since Thor can follow that up with Vicious Strike for auto-criticals, it's a pretty good fusion spell to have. It unfortunately requires a persona that's a bit obsolete by this point in the game, but still. Now Thor has a few other things going for him as well. His hard item is Lightning Gloves, which nullify electric attacks against the bearer. You can probably tell why this is a pretty good item to get. We have 2 very good party members, Yukari and Aegis, who are both weak to electric attacks. I'll just give my disclaimer once again that Elect Break will get rid of this. It's still an amazing accessory to have. I mean, seriously, getting rid of Yukari's weakness is great, as is Aegis' weakness, so definitely go for this hard item if you can. Thor also has a special weapon fusion, as you'd probably expect. Fusing him with any Nile weapon gives you Mjolnir, his famous hammer. Mjolnir, as you'd also probably expect, is a hammer that deals electric damage rather than strike. Now here's the thing about this. Since it technically deals a different damage type to what a striking weapon is normally supposed to, I'm actually not sure if this benefits from Heavy Master or not. It might, but it might not. I'll have to look into that further. Like all elemental weapons, it comes with its respective elemental boost skill built in. So in this case, Elect Boost. Again, I'm not a real fan of heavy weapons, but this one is pretty cool. I might show it off sometime. Another really great thing about Thor is that his level is comparatively low for an Ultimate Persona. It's only 52, meaning it's definitely possible to have him before the upcoming Full Moon fight. And for a Persona that's only level 52, Thor is actually very good in my opinion. I've actually kept him till endgame in a lot of my playthroughs. So trust me, you will be seeing more of this guy as this playthrough progresses. I'm definitely going to fuse him at the first chance I get. Yeah, make it a competition. That's pretty like him. So yes, that is yet another social link completed. We are really going through these. But I mean, don't worry, we've still got plenty of social links to go.
How was your day?
Oh yeah, that! Oh yeah, no, it doesn't affect our missions or anything like that at all, but what it does affect is everyone's dignity, as Gary Stu watches, them. Yeah. How long have you just been saying that line? Junpei's saying the same thing, I'm pretty sure. And everyone else is nervous about the operation. What's on TV? They're like, you and me, just a little more tired. Yeah, a little more tired. And by that you mean they basically can't do anything at all. Well, I mean, at least they're getting donations for it. I guess they can kind of help by getting them off the streets. It looks like Ken's not here tonight, as is tending to be pretty common these days. So, I'm really not sure what... It's a Tuesday, and yeah, normally we do Devil, but that's done. So, there's really not much that we can do on Tuesdays. Actually, I just thought of something. I don't think we've actually shown what... Well, I mean, I've probably shown what's in the arcade on Tuesdays before, but... I just want to check Okuninushi here. Yeah, that's pretty decent strength. Not quite as much as the magic, but that's going to help. Actually, now that we've maxed so many links, I might as well go ahead and save. I'm actually thinking that at some point, kind of soon, I might be going back into Tartarus just to see if I can do a final bit of grinding mainly for Yukari, and then also trying to see if I can get that katana, but yeah, that's going to be pretty problematic. Might not be able to do that this time. I just realized that this actually isn't the last time we'll have access to this block. Well, I mean, you have access to every block all the time, but the next full moon is going to be using the same block, so the same katana will be available there. So it's not totally imperative that I get it out of the way now. But anyway, I might go back later in the week at some point, so I'll think about that. A Tuesday evening and no Tanaka. There's really not that much we can do tonight. Koromaru? Nope, no mood for a walk. So, apart from the arcade, which I actually want to use that very cautiously, otherwise my personas might get so powerful that we completely trivialize the bosses, so I'm just going to go back to the room. So, guess who forgot about something else and needed to reload an earlier save? Yeah. So, the date here might not match up, but I'm going to splice this into the footage that I recorded earlier, because I forgot about the bank of consoles. There are a few new recordings here, and I kind of want to get these out of the way relatively soon. There's 2 new recordings, I believe, and, well, they're not exactly my favorite recordings. I mean, admittedly, it's very hard to top that Shinjiro one. That is easily my favorite, but, we're getting into a few that I'm not really a particularly big fan of. So this one comes from the 20th, during the typhoon, actually. This one's not actually a very long one.
Door unlocked in 92 seconds. My time has improved.
I rolled a natural 20 on lockpicking. I should consider becoming a rogue.
Surface body temperature reads 98.7 degrees. No fever.
I have no idea how good or bad that is because I don't understand Fahrenheit, but I'm pretty sure it's about as hot as today is as of recording in Australia.
At this rate, he should make a full recovery by morning. The pillow I prepared in the freezer will not be necessary. I mustn't stay too long, or Yukari-san will reprimand me again. There are still 4 hours and 12 minutes until sunrise. I need only sneak out again before morning.
And considering how well I have been rolling on stealth checks lately, that should be a breeze for me.
I will keep watch over him for a little longer.
So, yeah, Gary Sue, you sure you haven't programmed Aegis to be completely obsessed with you? I feel like he actually wasn't sleeping there, and he just faked that just so that he could know she was nearby. But anyway, that's one of the recordings. And no need to study, as always. And so, let's proceed past my in-game birthday, onto a new day. And very soon a new month. And I would say new condition, but actually that condition is the same, because, yeah. Because we've been in great for so long. Hey Junpei, what's going on? I still like how the trees look here in autumn. There's no option to say Maryland here, so pretty good. Yeah, let's do this. Junpei's certainly in a good mood. And, well, he should be. He totally wrecked the sleeping table the last time we fought it. Well, I mean, the only time we fought it. Please don't bring back the sleeping table. I guess technically it shows up in the answer, but anyway. So today, even though there's a big exclamation mark above Yukari's head, Garisu is going to resist the urge to do that, and instead we're going to head to Student Council, because it's not the PA room, I often make that mistake, it's Emperor time. Now, we don't actually have need of an Emperor persona just yet, but next rank we will. This is the last time that we can afford to be without a matching persona, but I've got one anyway, because I like to prepare them in advance. So today, we are doing Emperor rank 7, and let's hope that he hasn't accused everyone here of being a smoker. Of course you were! When do you not talk about that? Isn't that a little bit extreme? Yes, you seem very eager about that. And this is, I love this response out of context, but even in context, it's pretty great. The thing that you need to say here to get most point is, he should suffer. Yeah, except he's torn, okay. Well, that's kind of a good point. Kind of see how the Emperor Arcana is working here, the whole idea of power and stuff, but this is actually a pretty interesting link once it gets to the higher points. I mean, considering what he says afterwards, though, I feel it's a bit weird that he should suffer gives you the most points there, because he actually doesn't really think that himself. But yeah, the whole thing about punishing people who break the rules and thing about wanting to reform people sounds awfully Persona 5-ish at this point. Being conflicted about the methods of doing so. Anyway.
Where have you been?
Oh, hey, Pun Man's here. Yeah, so it's going to be a Sunday this time, so... Yeah, it seems like he is. Oh, Junpei's usually pretty serious in that. Where's Fuka? Oh, yeah, she's here. Yeah, this is one of those weird days where she's at the computer, but you can still go to Tartarus, I'm pretty sure. I want to see if Junpei's in great condition. I don't know if he is. I've since heard that it actually does happen to specific party members on specific days. Oh, he's just good, okay. Like, in some of the days after Junpei meets Chidori, he's in great condition. But I can just go around and see if anyone's saying anything new. I don't think they are. Okay. You're saying it. You are saying something new. Overestimate. I mean, Shinjiro, you are pretty good. Ken's still drinking coffee. Akihiko still can't wait to punch some shadows in the face. Everyone is wanting to be prepared. They keep reminding us of the specific date of this operation. And no puns from you. Wow, everyone really is serious. Do you have to put it so ominously, Mitsuru? Oh, and we've already seen this, haven't we? Yeah, we've already seen this one. So, let's see what's on TV. Let me guess, more apathy syndrome. Yeah, of course it is! Yeah, but, have you guys linked it to the full moon yet? Yeah, if you haven't, I severely distrust your brain power. So, tonight, I forget if there's anything specific you can do at the arcade on Wednesdays, so I think I'm just going to go back and, go back to the room again. And so, if I had remembered to do these as I was recording the rest of the weeks, I would have spaced these out over the space of a few days, so here's the next new recording. This is actually probably one of my least favorites in the game, because, well, it's pretty clear that this one only exists for one reason. This one is from the 25th, relatively recently. We're about to find out that that reason is... Fanservice! Yeah, this one's pretty much almost entirely just fanservice. At least we get to see Mitsuru's room, though, and it's just as extravagant as you'd expect.
Whew. Whoops. I've gotten used to walking around without my bathrobe lately.
Are you sure that your lines aren't being lifted out of some, like, bad, I don't even want to say it? Gary Stu may have possessed your mind to be saying things like that.
Not a very good habit to fall into. Well, I'm not at home, so I suppose being a little lax won't hurt.
Yeah, it's not as if there's a camera recording you right now and people who are being perverts are watching.
This fashion magazine. I saw Takiba buying one, so I thought I'd pick one up myself, but... This one piece is beloved by all, including friends, boyfriends, and boyfriends' friends. Alluring yet prudish, the ultimate combination.
Huh, actually sounds like something that would be in that magazine from Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
What are they talking about? I don't follow fashion myself. I usually just wear whatever the family stylist selects for me.
Well, at least we get a bit of backstory.
Cute clothes, huh? Well, I do kind of want to try this. Pink one. Not that I'd be able to pull it off. I'm not like Takeba. I should be careful to remember the distinction between clothes I want to wear and clothes I can wear. I knew this was a bad habit. It's a good way to catch a cold.
And a good way to get perved on.
I should get some rest. I have to wake up early again tomorrow. Now, which pajamas should I wear tonight?
Wait for it. More gratuitous fan service. So, yeah, that is probably my least favorite of the recording so far. I mean, we do get a little bit of backstory info, but it's mostly just fan service. But anyway, those are, I believe, yep, those are all the recordings we've got. So far, if you want to see... Yes, we can watch this whenever we want. And, being able to watch that whenever we want is horrifying. So, yeah, that is all the recordings that we can do at this point. I thought that there was a certain recording involving Yukari that we could do now. I think that comes later. Thursdays and on, we can see the monk, so things will be different then. I've also got to keep in mind, October the 2nd is when we need to get that item from, well, I shouldn't technically spoil who we get it from, although it should be pretty obvious.